What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the newest studio album from pop rockers the Maine. This one is titled American Candy. Can I just say that there are a lot of albums coming out lately that I am just really getting into. 2015 could be a very good year for music. Pop rock group the Maine formed about 8 years ago, I believe it was, and I've been listening to them from the start. Of course, we go all the way back to Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and songs like Everything I Ask For, which I can still throw on and have a good time with, but we grew up with them. They briefly went to Warner Brothers for Black and White, an album that seemed like a bit of a misfire if you ask me. Then they returned to form with Pioneer and had a really strong outing in Forever Halloween 2 years ago, and that was an album that got a little bit darker. They saw some dark times through their past few releases, and I feel like I've kind of grown along with the Maine through the years, and it's been really interesting and intriguing. With this new album, American Candy, though, we're back to the upbeat side of the Maine without taking a step back. These songs, and this batch of songs, I should say, is catchy. There are hooks for days on this record, and there is so much to dig into and appreciate about this album. Every song on this album is earwormy, even the ballad-styled song 24 Floor, which is a little bit more depressing. Maybe it would have been more at home on Forever Halloween, but they still find a way to make it fit and work with this album's groove. From start to finish, there is not one song that I would say, yeah, you know what, I would cut that. That one doesn't belong here. It doesn't fit. It messes with the flow of the record. I feel like this album feels very connected, it's down to earth, and it deals with some themes that you might think are a bit ridiculous, because there's a song called My Hair, Same Suit, Different Tie, but they managed to pull it off. I feel like there are a lot of metaphors hidden in these lyrics, and while some of them may just be kind of straightforward songs, I mean, maybe John O'Callaghan wanted to write a song about his hair, and he did it, and it's one that just says, hey, appreciate your hair while you still have it, but they managed to do it in a way that is so fun and just so straightforward pop rock alternative awesome that I cannot deny the Maine for what they've done and accomplished here. English Girls, first song that we got off of this record, fell in love almost instantly. It has done nothing but grow on me in the few months that we've had with this track. This is a song that gets embedded in my head so often, it's pretty much a daily occurrence at this point, and I don't have a problem with that. The guitars are smooth and effective. John's voice here is just soothing, catchy, gripping. Everything about this track just works. It's one of those pop rock gems that you just don't expect to come out, and then it just hits you. American Candy, the title track on this album, is another one that came out of left field and just totally took a chokehold on me. It's one of those that kind of starts off a little bit slow, but then lights the fuse and then just explodes whenever the chorus rolls around. I'm loving the social commentary that's flowing on a lot of these tracks. It's not all just silliness. I think a lot of it has deeper meanings, like I was saying, and is definitely influenced by a somewhat 90s leaning sound. They've always said that they were influenced by the 90s, considering that's the generation that they grew up in, just like me. Am I Pretty is one of the songs that really stood out to me. I can't quite put my finger on the group that it reminds me of, but it pretty much just oozes with sarcasm, and I love that. It's just like foaming at the mouth with it, and at the same time I feel like it's going to go over a lot of people's heads, but they're still really going to enjoy it. Either way, it's a fantastic damn song. Diet Soda Society is one that opens up with some whistles, some guitars, and I'm really loving the instrumentation on this one, but what really got me on here was the lyrical content. I talked about social commentary, and John O'Callaghan opens up with my favorite line from the entire record. To be honest, I'm full of shit, but that's alright, because everyone else that I know is. And that's just one of those moments where I was just like, yes, I say stuff like this all the time. Anyways, you just cannot go wrong with that track. Another one that closes out the album, Another Night on Mars, is one that feels like it would be almost a drinking anthem, one that just kind of builds you up. It talks about your friends, your core group of friends that are always going to be there and support you. It reminds me of a track on the last Forever the Sickest Kids album that kind of tried to do that kind of failed at the same time. I think this is the correct version of that, one that just really sold it for me. I think it carries out the album on one of those really positive and strong notes. It just almost feels like you're kind of walking home on a summer night with your friends around you, and you're basically kind of trading stories, talking about all of these nights you've had, the shitty bars, etc. I just don't think they could have closed out this album in a better fashion. Lost is one of the only tracks on this album that I'm not really connecting with on many levels. I won't say that it's a bad song by any means, because I don't think that there is a bad song on this LP, like I mentioned several times. I know I got really worked up and kind of excited when talking about this album. It's just because I did not really expect it. I will say that Unlost, like I said, it just felt a little bit like it missed the mark to me. But the final track that I will mention is Miles Away. Definitely think this thing has a really solid start to the album. It gives it that breath of life that we just kind of needed to reel us in as the listener, and then it just kind of keeps your attention all throughout. I like the guitar solo on this one in particular, and I thought the hook was really strong, and it goes into same suit, different tie really well, and then the album just kind of steamrolls in a very good direction from there. I kind of went off the cuff on this review, didn't really write down much just because I felt like I had a lot to say, but I didn't exactly know how to say it, so I just kind of let my brain spill out to the camera. I hope you enjoyed this style of review. For me, this album, American Candy, has been extremely enjoyable, a pleasant surprise, like I said, and it's probably my favorite Maine album to date, honestly. Pioneer was holding that record before, but American Candy is just one that I can see myself listening to for a long time to come. It's so much fun. I hope you guys enjoy it as well. For me, this record is a 4.5. Like I said, 2015 could be shaping up to be a very good year for music. I'm excited about it. I've been giving out a lot of positive ratings lately because there's been a lot of albums that have just been not only living up to the hype, but really blowing my expectations out of the water. I mean, Death Cab for Cutie, Purity Ring, Kendrick Lamar, The Maine, All Time Low, maybe? We'll see, because that's my next review. Thanks so much for liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and telling a friend about ARTV, because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon right here on ARTV.